Hello, everyone. This is Jason here. Just before we start the episode, I have one thing that you should know prior to it. When Mac was doing the audio editing, she was trying to use this noise reduction because, frankly, tell it, my younger brother, he is was so loud. He was screeching, playing with his friends online. Unfortunately, that noise reduction fucked up her audio badly. Like, it was really bad. And so we tried to do some additional voice recording to help with that, but that could lead to some inconsistency in voice. So if you find that distracting, or I don't know what else would there be for, or if you just find that distracting, I would suggest probably skipping this episode because although we tried our best, it could be somewhat annoying to hear like a very laggy Mac and a very hearable Mac. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Plus, the noise reduction didn't help, and my younger brother is still loud, so you also have to deal with that. Sorry. Um. Besides that, let's get into the video episode. Hey everyone, it is me, the Cup Man. Welcome back to my little podcast. What movies do you like? I am joined with a person named Mac, I
Hello,
think. I'm not too sure. Hi, who are you?
Mac.
No, it says your name is Stuart.
Oh,
Hi, Stuart.
I'm not Stuart Little.
You are Stuart Little. You look like Stuart Little.
I don't know. I did something.
What?
If I was Stuart I don't know. I'd be really
If I was Stuart Little, I would just jump to the lake.
sick.
I would just drown myself.
You don't know.
I should say before we get into everything, the people listening, I mistimed the day we were doing this. I thought we were. By the time we're recording this, this is on a Tuesday, and I misread it, Mac's message, and I thought we were doing it on Thursday. So I'm a little sloppy right now. I'm currently eating because I was planning on getting something to eat around the time we were recording. So during the beginning of it, I'm gonna be a little yeah. So just to let you know, I'm gonna take a little sip of my milk.
Let's figure. Say sloppy right now. Sounds like you're like really drunk or something.
Let me tell you about the movie, okay? I don't know why I sound like that. So we're in our little silly intro segment. I was thinking, since we are in June, we could talk about some films that we're looking forward to during the last half of 2024. Because Jesus Christ, we're already getting halfway done with 2024. Feels like we were just around like 2 minutes ago.
I thought you were gonna be like, since we're in June, I thought we could talk about some like gay movies.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about a gay movie.
We are.
Speak. Yeah, we are. Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, okay.
No, that was the secret movie. But for real, I was thinking about talking about some stuff we're looking forward to. At least, yep, that was the obvious one for Mac and I don't know how we're gonna bring it to it. Long Legs, that new Nicolas Cage horror film. The marketing is really great for that film, by the way. I know everybody says that, but it's true. They recently released this thing where you can like call the number and it has some like really creepy shit in it.
Oh wait, I feel like I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, you can just like call it, and Nicolas Cage is just like doing his creepy weirdo shit, dude. This turns out to be one of those movies where the marketing is better than the film. I will actually like kind of like kill myself. I would just like fucking take the rope and just swing around. I'm not joking, by the way. I will kill myself if that movie sucks.
Oh, okay,
You're just laughing at it.
Since we mentioned Long Legs, just gonna be movie of the year, or else I don't know.
The world
Yeah,
ends.
the world ends. I see one negative thing about that movie.
I will kill myself
I'm
in
going
front of
off
the
the
theater.
grid. I'm going to take Kaczynski.
Mm.
Oh, but like, speaking of long legs, it comes out around the same time as Spring, so that's
Oh yeah, dude, you can do a double feature with that. There is there's a new the new Yorgos Lanthimos film, Kind of Kindness, is releasing pretty soon. In fact, it'll probably be out in theaters, by the time we get this uploaded, since we'll probably get uploaded in July. I'm hoping to see that. It is a bit of a long one. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but I want to see it because I really love the two films I've seen from the guy. I want to continue seeing the weirdo shit he does. Apparently, this film in particular, he gets it really into the weirdo shit. like, I've heard that his one of his earliest films, Dogtooth, which released in 2009. I heard that was like his weirdest film. I think people compare it to that. And I'm like, ooh.
I'll have to check it out. I've never heard of that.
All I've seen is clips.
Oh, okay.
And there is a really funny one I saw where it was Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, and a couple other yeah, other couple other actors. I feel like I know their names. I just kind of forget it right now. And they're all having dinner. Emma Stone just out of nowhere goes like, "So, when are we gonna fuck? Are we gonna fuck on the table?" Yeah, that's a real scene. They like put it in one of their previews. Have you seen the teaser for that film?
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic. I'll send it to you later after this episode, but it is truly iconic stuff. There was a couple films I wanted to see in theaters that I haven't seen yet, so I'll be looking forward to it, watching it on my own time. The film I Saw the TV Glow was a film I wanted to see in theaters, but my movie theater was like, no, no.
I've heard of that. I've heard it's really good.
Man, yeah, I can't wait to see that, and I'm hoping to see In a Violent Nature when it comes out. I don't expect that movie to be a masterpiece or anything, but it looks kind of neat. Looks like one of those films you can just chill and like put in the background. You know, maybe not in the background, but just kind of chill with it.
Yeah.
I read that some people compared it to like a Gus Van Sant film I watched called Elephant, kind of like that, but it's like a slasher because in that film Elephant, there's a lot of scenes of like characters walking around, kind of also relying on the showing the atmosphere at the same time. And I don't love the film Elephant, but that was probably my favorite thing about it, the cinematography. So hearing it compared to that, I'm like, ooh, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Mac? You have anything you looking forward to besides Long Legs and Despicable Me 4?
Might watch Quiet Place. Definitely not watching Gladiator 2. Yeah, Maxine's coming out.
Oh yeah, Maxine. I still haven't seen like X and Pearl. I want to see
Coming
Pearl.
out, but I haven't actually seen either of them.
Yeah, it's been out.
So it's
You're too late.
good. So, so oh yeah, Joker Fury 2 is coming out.
Todd Phillips' next masterpiece.
Yeah.
Director of Road Trip, by the way.
Wait.
the, the director of Road Trip has a Best Director nomination. He had a chance of beating Bong Joon-ho in Best Director, which will always be fun to me.
So over.
Like, imagine he won over Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. That would have been like I think I would have like bombed the Academy.
That would have been. So
That's a joke. Please don't kill me. I now remembered one film that's coming out like at the tail end of 2024. Uh, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu film's coming out another tail end of 2024. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Nosferatu. It's good. It still holds up pretty well. But I am excited to see what Robert Eggers does with it. I called him Egger, not Eggers. That'd be so cursed if there was just not an S. Anyhow, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I loved The Lighthouse and The Witch. I still haven't seen The Northman. I need to see that. Or it's called The Northman.
Oh yeah, I really like The Lighthouse and The Witch.
Yeah, we watched those together during our like Halloween watch with Robbie and Jeremy. Yeah, wasn't that no? The Lighthouse was one of my picks, and the Witch was one of your picks.
Yeah.
I have to fully remember it now. There's probably some other ones I'm not thinking of right now.
Wait,
but
Utopia 2.
Yep. I don't think it's coming out this year, but
it's like the weird. The internet is a second, and they're making the second. 2025.
Yeah. I can't wait for furries to invade the theater again. Again, a meeting. Do you want to get into the movie discussion, the film stuff, the things that people probably click on the video for? No? Okay. Alright, another 2 hours of talking about shit. Alright, here we go. But for real, let's get into it. Let's start alphabetically. Let's start with Night on the Galactic Railroad, aka my pick. Give me a second, there's a little bit of food still in my mouth. I should probably not have food in my mouth while describing my film.
Why?
Can you imagine though? That'd be so sloppy. Alright, now I'm good. So my pick was Night on the Galactic Railroad, a film that released in 1985. I forget what the director's name is, but I know he's done a couple other stuff, mainly just animated stuff. I think he did something for like a couple of like TV shows, like movies, stuff like that. Hold on, give me 1 millisecond. He did the film adaptation. He did an animated film adaptation of Street Fighter 2. Great resume. So basically, this film follows two cats. One called Genovese, and the other one called Campbella. I could be pronouncing that wrong. I usually try to like listen to the names again prior to recording, but again, I didn't realize we were recording for tonight, so I'm a bit sloppy.
Giovanni.
Basically, Giovanni. There we go. Thank you. Basically, it just kind of follows them at the day of the night of the God, I am so sloppy. Night in the Festivals of the Stars. And basically, it's just like celebrating some shit. Yeah. And basically, during this, Genovese, he's kind of just doing his own thing. He's not really going in the Festival of the Stars. Kill yourself. I should actually... I mean, pretty much he tries to get milk for his mom during the Festival of the Stars before actually going there.
Yeah.
And during so, in the middle of it, he just kind of lies in some grass. And then, out of nowhere, a train appears. Like, just some random-ass train at first. And, once he boards on it, a couple minutes later, his friend, Campbella, I don't know why I'm pronouncing it Italian-like, don't ask, joins him, and they basically go on an adventure, just seeing where this train leads them to. Or, you could say, on the Galactic Railroad. Yeah. Man, that was really sloppy. I apologize if that was shit. The people watching. But yeah, that's basically what it is. And watching this film was definitely interesting. I didn't know what I was fully expecting, but it was a lot more than I ever expected. Mainly, I did not expect the film to be as religious as it was. It's not like some like one-sided like thing, but there's a lot more about like Christianity than I thought. I was not expecting that. But overall, I thought the film was pretty great. Not a film I was expecting. Like I expected it to like it way more than I did, but I still really enjoyed it. And yeah, what did you think, Mac?
I thought it was really good. I didn't really expect it to be so dark, but
That is true.
I really like the music.
Oh yeah, we can get into that in a bit. I kind of want to first highlight the animation because it's one of my favorite things about the film.
Oh yeah, the animation was like really good. And the characters were like really cute.
Oh yeah, the character design is great. I love
I
it.
know it.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
what were we gonna say? No, go ahead.
I know it felt like for um Max and Ruby characters should be characters.
I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, they kind of have the same kind of the same structure body wise. Not entirely, but I can see where
The
you're coming
ears,
from.
especially like
Oh yeah,
the little lines of shade.
yeah. There's some really cool character design in this film. Like besides like the main two characters who look really cool, there's also so basically the first hour of this film is kind of just setting up everything, while the rest of it's kind of like getting more into like showing new characters and stuff like that. The first one we see this like fucking Wario bird stealing looking motherfucker. I love the way he looked. He was so it looks so like he was hiding a lot of shit, and I just loved it. Excuse me. And over, this is definitely a film that has like a very unique animation style. I think it mainly has to do with the time it came out, mid '80s and all that stuff. And it really fits that like era. Like this definitely, you can definitely tell it looks like an '80s film without that being like a bad thing. The film doesn't look dated whatsoever.
Yeah.
And there's some cool like moments in this film where they really highlight the animation. To not get into too spoilery right now, because like we're getting into a spoiler-free discussion right now. There was a scene near like getting close to the end about like a story of a scorpion, and the way they illustrated it with the sky and the animation was really mesmerizing. It made like the story itself much more engaging.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a really
Was
pretty
there?
movie, I think. Like
It
all
is really
the
beautiful looking.
like all the symbolism, yeah, the birds especially.
Oh yeah, the birds. Dude, the moment where I probably should not say it now, but where they kind of revealed that the birds were candy. That was really interesting. It was cool how they animated it too. Like I don't know why, I just kind of like the way it looked. I like the way this film, like every scene looks in general. I think it benefits that this filmed in space, and it feels like whenever there's like a film set in space, like some people just go like, okay, we can go fucking crazy with the visuals. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
And I like it when space films do that because it just really makes for some really great looking films. And yeah, this film was really beautiful looking. And I guess we could now segue into what you were saying a bit ago, Mac, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah. Especially like all the parts where they're like all the different important parts, like they have specific.
I love the main theme.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not entirely the main theme. It's the theme I think about, the one that plays in the opening credits.
Yeah.
I looked up the composer, which I cannot pronounce his name because again, I need to like look it up, need to like know how to pronounce it, like prior to recording, and like I got way too sidetracked. But the composer also did later on, years later, he composed for the film Shoplifters, which you haven't heard of, Mac, but I know there's a lot of people who've heard of that film. So I thought that was interesting to see a film I heard of before, having a composer that did something I have watched, which is cool. But yeah, again, very 80s sounding. Well, maybe not entirely. I think it's more like the audio quality, but like it really captured the space feeling. I felt like.
It did.
One thing I was not expecting was that this film, on occasion, I'm sorry if I'm looking, it's me looking at my lips is coming on the mic. I'm like eating right now. See, I'm not normally a slow eater, but since we're like chatting and I'm eating at the same time, it's just way slower. But going back to what I was saying, one thing I was not expecting to really like was the sound design in some scenes. I'm thinking from the beginning of the film, the scene where John Ovi, God, I am not going to be able to pronounce that name right. This Giovanni. Maybe I should like write that down or something, but that wouldn't help. Okay, so Giovanni.
Just call him
G.I. Joe. Yeah, we'll call him G.I. Joe. Okay, and getting back, when he was at his job at the library, I really like how the film played with white noise in that scene. I like films with sound design that's able to have like a lot of like natural white noise to it, like what the characters in the film would consider white noise in the background and stuff like that. I found the library scene in particular to highlight that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I felt so fucking bad whenever he was like just desperately trying to do his job, and he got distracted for like 1 minute, and he dropped everything, all of his progress, having him to redo it. Yeah, I felt so bad for him. Like, there wasn't that much that happened, but I felt already bad for him, especially since his classmates were shitheads to him.
Yeah, it was like, dang,
dude, I will say this film can articulate how much kids can be little shits, because they were just downright shit talking him right next to him, and they were whispering it, but it was like loud whispering, like that type of whispering where it's like, okay, you're not even trying to keep it a secret at this point.
Yeah.
Like he's just like his dad's away, he's probably dead. And he was about to beat his ass if that school bell didn't ring. He was gonna fucking murder him.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of that blue little cat and its friend, I'll call him that blue little cat. I really like the main two characters we follow in this film. They were very, like, it's weird because they're not like the typical characters you would follow. I'm not saying they're like wildly unique, but the way the film like portrays their chemistry together, it was definitely a lot more different than I was expecting.
Yeah. Cause like, I don't know, they're really quiet, but they are like pretty close friends, so it's like, I don't know.
There's a lot of scenes like where they just like, yeah, one of those like silent friends. Yeah, they were just kind of chilling, like, man, I'm here with my best friend, I'm just traveling with the world, yeah. I'm just vibing, mate. Bruv, chip chip cheerio. Toodly toodly too. Man, I am just like so deranged right now. I don't know what is with me. This is what happens when you don't record, when you misread the time that you're supposed to record, kids. You like are like so much more sloppier at your job. Never quit your day job, kids.
Day job.
I mean, this isn't a job, but still. Yeah, we would if we try to do this as a job, we would get like 2 cents at most. Share a penny for each. We making her rich tonight. Let's go. But to get back to the actual film, one thing is that so when I recommend this film, in fact, you can go back to when we were to like the end of our previous episode. I kind of, when I listed why I wanted to watch this film, I listed like it's gay. I want to watch it. It was definitely, it was not as gay as I expected it to be, and I will say that right now. If you watch this film because you heard it was pretty gay, it is not as gay as you think it is. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
I didn't think it was at all, honestly.
You know what? That's because you're a hetero. I'm sorry. Us gay people can interpret it if you're gay or not. We just know. But yeah, it was only around the end, which we'll get into later. It was only around like the ending, with the last 20 minutes, where I was going like, okay, they might be a little zesty with each other, but no.
I mean, they had a vibe to them. But it wasn't like...
I mean, you have to have a vibe. Man, it was just like if you're gonna like travel the galaxy with somebody, they have to be close. Like, there's no way in hell you can do it if you it's somebody you like. Like, imagine if it was like that one kid that was constantly teasing John Novi. They would end by killing each other. Is there something you want to talk about in particular about this film, Mag? At least in the spoiler-free discussion. Just kind of asking because I kind of been rambling a lot, so I figured, hey, let the person that I'm doing this podcast with probably get a little bit of spot to shine, you know.
I guess I'll say for a movie with very little dialogue, the characters do like show a lot of emotion and like.
Oh yeah. The film does really nail having a really likable characters regardless of screen time. I also think it's just because they make them all distinct. Like, I can easily infer, not only by character design, but by the way they act, who is what now. Like, which characters this is supposed to be, what they are. Maybe not names, because I suck at names, but based on the characters, I know who they are.
Yeah.
And I guess I should probably get into, at least, I'm kind of do one of those things where I, like, say my spoiler-free complaint right now and expand upon it in the spoiler discussion. But I find the main reason why I consider this a film I more, like, really enjoyed rather than, like, a film I would recommend to, like, everybody I know, is that I found after the first hour of the film, it kind of got a bit too repetitive for its own good about what scenes would lead up to and what we would see. Sure, objectively, new things were happening in the scene, but it felt like kind of the same thing at the same time. That was my main complaint, at least. And it weirdly kind of made it like I was really digging the first hour of the film. I liked what it was going for. I love this. Like, I actually really like the slow build up to the first hour of the film. How it didn't immediately start in the action, and I liked how it was first like showing the world and stuff like that. But as it kept going, I don't know. I think it's because we spent way more time in the train after the first hour compared to anything else. But yeah, I just was like, man, this film's still going.
But still, yep.
Yep, this is the Galactic Railroad.
You know what's really surprising to me? It's like surprisingly long.
Animated film? Yeah, this is like a 2D animated film, so it probably took like eons to get completed. I tried to actually look up some fun facts, but I'm not really finding anything that interesting. Um, oh, I guess that's really funny. This is something really funny. Apparently, the only DVD with English subtitles for the longest time was released in 2001 at a limited amount. And for like 14 years, there was no other way to watch it with English subtitles. So I guess that's pretty funny. Um, wait, what is this? I mean, some of this stuff is definitely interesting, but I don't know how to fully depict it. And I also think it's because like some of the more interesting stuff, where they like, despite me being critical of the first of the after the first hour, it's mainly the stuff that's the most interesting to talk about. And I guess this is a way for me to be like, hey, you want to get into spoiler discussion? Because I do really like the film, but I definitely feel like we could get more interesting stuff with the spoiler discussion. So, you have anything to say before I get into that?
Honestly, I didn't think the second half was else that.
That's fair. I mean, I didn't find it boring. I just kind of found it a bit overly long, more than anything. Maybe I said it was boring. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have to mention it. I probably do. But yeah, I think it's more just like the first. I found the first hour more engaging more than anything. You know.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, just one more interruption. I don't know if this was like cut out of the audio or if Mac and I were just downright forgot, but there's no setup to spoilers. We just get straight into it. So figured to do a little setup myself and just tell you that we are going to be spoiling Night on the Galactic Railroad right now. If you do not want to be spoiled by that, skip to this timeline right now. Besides that, here is Mac and I spoiling the film. Yeah. All right. So to get into spoilers with Night on the Galactic Railroad, weirdly enough, like I said already, like a couple times, I find the first hour the more engaging aspects to me. But weirdly enough, what makes the film like more like what it is mainly in the last 55 minutes, and I think that's probably why you said you didn't find the last 55 minutes that boring, Mac, because there's a lot that goes on in the last 55 minutes. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When the fucking Titanic and those humans got on the train, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, this was like a movie full of like cats and animals, and then I just saw like human beings, and I was like, wait, what are we even in right now?
And there's no like questioning that these like anthropomorphic animals were there. Like the little girl looked through the window and saw this cat that looked just like Giovanni, and he's like, I've seen that boy before.
My
And I
boy.
was just like, huh?
Dude, it was fucking weird. The whole Titanic segment was fucking crazy too. Like, holy shit. Like, here we are just like exploring the galaxy with cats, and all of a sudden just showing like a tragic story about how like a dad made a sacrifice to kill him, his wife, and their kid, it's just for all the others to survive. What was it?
It wasn't the dad, it was like a tutor.
Oh, it was a two. Right. Fuck, I'm stupid. Whoopsies.
He was like, I told your dad I'd keep these guys safe.
Kills them. Did a terrible job at it.
He was like, would it be better to kill them?
Or kill myself. No, I
and
ain't
then
going.
go to heaven. Let them live and rest them not. It was like, just teach them right when you get to safe.
Speaking of scenes that just like fucking surprise the shit out of me. Okay, so when the first scene that happens with religious stuff, like out of nowhere, just a bunch of cats appear and start like praying. That was another scene that just caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Well, I looked up like the movie after getting to watching it, and it was actually based off of um a children's book from like
I
the
do know that.
1930s or something. But that guy, the guy that wrote it, he was a Buddhist, but he was interested in like just like learning about Christianity. So
That's cool.
that's what inspired the book. Oh, sense.
Uh, yeah. But like, yeah, I knew that, but I guess I didn't read too much about what the book was about or the authors, as you described it. So like during that scene, I was just like, oh, that's what some people meant that there was like Christianity in this film, huh? There's cats praying out of nowhere.
I spent like most of the movie going, oh shoot, they're dead, right? Oh shoot, this train's taking them to heaven. Oh
Oh
yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep, it's
That's the
taking them to heaven. They're dead. These are dead little
Yeah,
kids.
that's another big thing. Like the whole film, the whole train is not like some like, oh, what is this mystery? We're gonna go to like the Galactic Railroad. We're gonna go to the end of the universe. It's like, oh, this is the train that leads you to heaven.
Well, I
Wait,
think
Kemp.
for the most, oh sorry,
I was just gonna say, wait, Kemp Bell is dead. Shit.
I like it, but
That would explain why he just no clipped into the train, though. like, like, would imagine he just did that. He could just no clip prior to dying.
just do
What were you gonna say?
it. Oh, so, oh, I think for the most part, if you take away the whole Titanic thing, I think it was a really sweet way
Of
it
handling it?
showed about like death.
Yeah. It is definitely much more like, it's meant to be more like friendly with telling you about death. Because
Yeah,
you
if you
can.
take away the screams of the people about to die.
Jesus Christ! Esther just
Like,
drowning.
oh no! And I was like, what?
Man, I'm so upset they did not show people performing music as the Titanic was sinking in that film.
When I was like 8 or 9 and I watched Coraline for the first time, I stopped watching it whenever the other mother turned into a spider because it was really scary. I imagine if I watched that as like a little kid, I'd be like, okay, what is going on?
What the fuck?
I stopped watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory after that girl turned into a blueberry.
Honestly, that's fair. Some people found that movie terrifying.
I was really little though.
And
But, like,
I'm not judging.
some people saw that scene and they were like, man, that's very
But yeah, I can definitely why see that though. Some people find it. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure this movie's rated PG, so it is meant for kids.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because like it's funny how like PG films can get away with some stuff that's like it's not necessarily like showing graphic things, but it's like very symbolic and portraying like very dark themes. That's cool. I just find it cool and interesting, and how Night in the Galactic World is one of those films that gets away with it by basically having pretty much most people that Giovanni meets basically dead. Like, man, I'm talking the corpses. I wonder how, like, I don't want like an explanation or anything, but I just wonder how he was able to get in the train in the first place. Because, like, maybe it was all a dream or something, but, like, I was curious about that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Again, I'm not, like, thinking, like, man, this film should have had an explanation for it. Like, it's obviously not meant to explain it. I mean, there's a lot of symbolism in this film, so who knows? I don't get it. This movie sucks. This movie sucks. I hate it. Fuck you. To go back to what I was saying a bit earlier about like how the film was not as like gay as I was thinking it was. It was really around like the last bits of it that I was like, okay, maybe there's a little bit of something when they're going like, man, remember where we go? Promise me we'll be together, right? And it's like, okay, maybe not entirely, but maybe. But it didn't really go anywhere. So
Yeah.
Maybe, although I guess like I heard some people say one of the messages about this film is accepting one's sexuality, so like maybe I didn't fully interpret that. Maybe a rewatch, I don't know. Maybe I'll understand that more. As for the first rewatch, I didn't see that. I will say though, like Campbella, you broke your promise in world record time. Like,
He didn't promise anything. He kept avoiding the question. He'd be like, "You're gonna come with me, right? Like we're gonna go together. We're gonna be together this whole time, right?" And he's just like, I think we're almost to the swans. Do you want to see the swans in a little bit? I think they're gonna be like right out, right out the window. Yeah, the swans. Yeah, those.
yeah. It was pretty great though. Whenever like the Campbella like went to the just walked faded away, walking to where his mother is. I was thinking of the mother's gender, and not and like
Dude, it was really sad.
oh yeah, it was sad, and especially when Giovanni screams the name.
Yeah, and there's some
It
like
wasn't.
foreshadowing to what happens later, because we don't know that he's dead till that point. But one of the first things he says when he's training is like, I wish I could, like, I want to make my mom happy, or
Oh yeah, that is true. I
yeah, I
didn't
wish I
fully
could
think
make
about it like that.
her
Like,
really happy.
so I killed myself.
He sacrificed himself for that brat. Maybe he'll learn his lesson and be nice to since he really was like someone sacrificed himself to save him.
So yeah, it's going to that. What do you think of the
But
overall ending?
I was like, well, okay, why did his dad not really care?
It did feel like the dad did
He
not
was
care.
just
That
like, mm,
I mean,
so
I
girl,
get.
so has your dad come back yet? No? Oh, dang. Well, maybe
That's
soon.
unfortunate. Yeah, weird. I think that's how
I
some
think our
people call.
classmates are tomorrow. Like, huh?
I think that's how some people called it gay because, like, because Giovanni was more considerate about Campella's death compared to the dad.
Maybe the dad is used to it because his wife also.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I guess I lost everybody I know and love, unless he has more than one child. Yeah.
Oh, well, back to my other, it's like 7 children.
I wonder if like, so someone walked by Giovanni while he was just in his deep like sleep and was just like, man, what the fuck is that cat doing?
Yeah. But whenever Giovanni first meets Campanella on the train, Campanella is like, well, because Giovanni's like, I thought everyone else would be here too, like all of our friends from school. Or all of his classmates. He doesn't have any friends. So really.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought all of our classmates would be here. And he's like, well, I can remember that kid. The bully. He was like, well, the bully almost made it, but his dad grabbed him before he could get on and took him home.
Oh, damn, man.
And I was like, wow. I was thinking
Cheeky.
the whole time, I was like, his father saved him. But no, he saved the kid. His father did take him home after they got. He was like, yeah, his dad took him home.
Damn.
Rest or something after this, and it's like, wow.
It was also when the soundtrack started going crazy with its score. Like, it was definitely the most like intense piece of music you hear in the film.
Yeah. It was.
Rest.
Wow. It didn't make me cry like our other, but
Did it get?
really good. Made
Yeah,
me
it was great.
sad.
I can see why it made you sad.
I had been watching this. I was like, man, these are crazy pigs.
They are pretty crazy.
For like the same episode, just.
They do are pretty upsetting films. In different levels, though. They're not entirely like the same like tear jerky movies.
Well, one of them is based on a true story, and the other is just like a kid's movie.
What if it's based on? Well, technically, it's somewhat based on a true story because of the whole Titanic sequence.
No, not this one. I meant the other.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Oh, at least I think you meant it's somewhat instead of like all the way, and I was like, oh,
No,
okay.
of course not.
I'm sure there were two little rich kids with their teacher on the ship.
Oh, that speaking of teacher, that was crazy to see like the teacher there when it was first exploring that one town.
Oh yeah, he was like an archaeologist. But I think that part was probably part of his dream, and not
Probably the teacher just killed himself, and that's all he's doing now.
I died so I can be an archaeologist in the void.
In the void. Do you think they were like trapped after the whole world started to turn into stone? Like they were just like fuck.
Yeah, bone rock things, and yeah, the big
Yeah,
fossil
yeah, yeah,
bones
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
What
yeah,
is that
yeah.
called?
Uh, dude,
Just stimming. I don't
I'm freaking out. Uh, I want to elaborate a tiny bit more on my main complaint. I think the reason why I find the latter half of the song a bit repetitive is mainly just because, like, so it's mainly like the second half's mostly in the train, which that's not inherently a bad issue. There are some films that have been really great with being in mainly just in one location. The obvious example being like 12 Angry Men, but I think um what made it this film a little bit like like I didn't fully like it was just like it kind of felt like we were seeing the same thing. We were just getting introduced to new people, and there was like they were just showing a couple extra things with it, moving on to the next thing, and I just repeated for a couple times until Giovanni woke up. I think that's why I found like it to get a little repetitive by the end. I was just like, okay, yep, yep. And it's not like the characters themselves were bad. Like I really, like I said, I like the fucking like bird hunting motherfucker and like his friend that later joins on the train. But
know. Oh yeah, I like that guy.
I'll be
I
honest.
like that blind guy who does the telegraphs.
Oh shit, who was he? Fuck.
Well, he was very long, but he fell. He fell
Oh,
with this
the blind
cane,
guy.
and then
Ah,
yeah, and then
I
they
don't
helped him
remember
up,
him at
and then
all.
like the fisherman and his like friend, they were just like shocked that the kids helped him or something. They were just looking there like, whoa,
Oh no way.
they helped him up. They're nice.
Yeah. The only real characters that I didn't fully care for were the human characters. Not that they were like terrible or anything.
It just felt really out of place.
It did feel weird because, like, again, like this is like a cat. Like I get this is like moving, talking cats, but like it felt somewhat grounded beforehand because it was like the only characters we saw were cats. They were just cats. All of a sudden, just like humans. What the fuck? What are there dog universes? Are there like why are they here? Is the cat dimension like separate from our Earth? Like it kind of opens a lot of questions. And they were like when they're in the heaven scene, they were like one. I think like the only humans there. Like I think the rest were just cats.
Yeah, it was a bunch of like cat nuns and other cats.
Like were they just like did they just get on the wrong train? That's kind of weird, but it's not like a huge complaint. It's just definitely like I don't know. I feel like you could have done it. I guess like it's better to like fully have it on humans. Although I guess another to be fair, like these are not like kind of fictional characters on a real life event. So I don't know. I was gonna say maybe like make the Titanic survivors cats, but I don't know if that'd be too insensitive.
Like the Titanic survivors cats. I'm sure there were cats in the Titanic. There were dogs in the Titanic.
But I'm talking like talking and walking cats.
Yeah,
Although I could, if I want that, I could just
really.
watch Titanic: Legend Goes On, a true cinematic masterpiece.
Actually, real.
Anyhow, what is your thoughts on the whole symbolism with this? I feel like we actually already discussed about that, did we?
Um, I think we touched on it,
We
but I
definitely
don't think we really
touched on
went
it.
like in depth.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the whole symbolism with this film? Because there's a lot of like messages to be found in the film.
It definitely caught me off guard first whenever they were like did the whole fossil thing, like get back on, and then like I don't know if it was the next thing or if the bird thing was the next thing. But like at one point though, it's just like a giant cross, and they were just like, oh. It
Yeah.
caught me off guard. I was like, wait a minute.
What?
But
Jesus
like
is
as a
real.
Christian, I like the Christian.
Yeah, I'm not a religious person personally, but it definitely feels like this is definitely one of those like religious films that doesn't feel like it's being like, okay, you either like God or you can fuck yourself. It's
Well, the
definitely
guy who wrote it wasn't Christian, so
so that's probably why.
yeah,
uh,
he's Buddhist.
but yeah, it definitely feels a lot more like just kind of getting into messages that can that are just being like more like it definitely doesn't feel like, hey, you can either go with our religion or fuck off, or just go like, here's why we believe in our religion, you know. Like, I don't like the human characters, but I did kind of like the scene where that guy was kind of talking about heaven. I think, pretty sure.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see his conflict on whether he should do like he should just decide to just let them die, or if he should try his best to try to save them. Should have been like, okay, I'll try to save, them, but it didn't get it.
And
To
that's why he
just
went to
say
heaven.
that whole thing. Yeah.
Trying to think of other things.
Uh,
if you don't have any,
oh,
go ahead.
I thought it was interesting that he got that ticket to go to like, was it true heaven?
Yeah.
But it was just him going back to Earth.
They were like, "You're not dead, idiot. What the fuck are you doing here?"
But I guess that kind of gives the whole like almost like a reaction.
They kicked him out, and he was just like, "Man, I need to get my mom's milk. Like, fucking hell, I've been skipping out on it."
I feel like they may have just called it true heaven to like I don't like they didn't know how to explain it to him. So wow, you're going to true heaven. That's cool. That's special.
You're you're so quirky.
Because everybody else was like, yep, we know what's going on with this guy. But he was just clueless. Giovanni's just clueless all the time. He's like, oh, anyway.
Well, to be fair, like,
Yeah, fair. He's like 7 years old.
yeah, he's like a kid, and plus, like, I feel like even if you were an adult, like, I feel like it would take a bit to believe the shit you were seeing. You're like,
I
wait,
was like, man, it's gonna suck if the dad is like probably dead. He dies. The mom is sick, and his older, like his sister is just like there.
his sister's just vibing. He didn't make a
Well, not
tomato soup
anymore if
though,
her brother dies. That tomato soup is so good.
dude. We should include that clip in a bunch of Studio Ghibli film compilation and see how if anyone catches it.
It's not quite the same art style, but it's still that's just some good.
I just I love the memes where they like go like, why does Studio Ghibli food look so good? It's like the most like nasty, rotten looking shit imaginable. It's so funny.
They're just showing that clip from like Spirited Away.
Uh, wait, what's clip?
Isn't there the part where like the parents are like pigging out on that food and the pigs?
Oh yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
the food like actually rotten?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spirited Away. Yeah. Yeah.
It's magic cursed food.
Do you want to get into the final thoughts?
Yes.
All right, we are officially done with spoiler talk of Night of the Galactic Railroad. Overall, this film was definitely a very interesting film. I love the way it looks and sounds, both sound design and soundtrack wise. The soundtrack in particular fucking great, really damn good. Um, the narrative itself had its high points and its low points for me, but overall, I did like the film, even if I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. And yeah, what did you have anything you'd like to say, Mac, about that?
I really liked it. I thought it was. Uh, I, wait, are we going into the ratings yet? Or are we just
I
going
mean, if
back
you
on?
want to, I was thinking if you had any other final thoughts you had to say, but we can get into the ratings,
Alright,
like
I
what we
just
give it out
completely
of 10 if you
forgot if
want.
you gave it a rating. Just like flip up my mind.
Nope, not yet. I was just waiting for you to get your final thoughts.
um, yeah, I thought it was like really good. I thought it was a really interesting concept for the whole like
Yeah.
train thing. It's like it's like the Polar Express,
Tom Hanks appears. Is it Tom
but but
Hanks?
the, but the animation looks good. The art style looks good. It's not just mocap Tom Hanks
Yeah.
as like 6 different
Oh god, that'd be so
characters.
terrifying with the character designs if it was motion captured.
It would look like an Amazing World of Gumball bit.
It
Cast in
would.
motion
It actually
capture.
would. Yeah. I would overall give this film a nice, solid 7 out of 10. I wouldn't give it. It's more just like solid in there. I wouldn't get not closer to an 8, not closer to a 6, just right in the middle. Boom.
Yeah, that's a good score. I'm gonna give it a. I don't know how to say the out of that. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was
Nice.
pretty like well-rounded, except for the Titanic part. That brings it.
That is true. All right. Now that we got that film done, let's get into the second film we are going to be talking about. The Iron Claw, released last year. I don't think exactly last year. Definitely not, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We're
No,
in
because it
June,
was like
for
a couple
fuck's
weeks
sake.
before the Oscar.
Yeah. It released it. I think it released in Christmas, actually. Anyhow, since this was your pick, Mac, why don't you describe the plot?
Okay, so it's about this wrestling fan. The what are they called?
You're
Von
asking.
Elrics.
I'm pretty sure,
Um,
yeah.
a wrestling family. They all famously do the Iron Claw move. That's the name.
No way.
It's just about their um like curse that they have. I was like the well, he's the oldest. Technically, he's the oldest living brother. I was the oldest living brother of the family. His name's Kevin, and his like I don't know emotional journey, I guess, pretty much.
I would say more like rise and fall of the whole family, but yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like from his
perspective.
perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think rise and fall is a good term.
I mean, it's pretty much how to describe the film. That's basically like the words that came to my mind after watching it.
Honestly, I wouldn't have thought of it because when I hear the rise and fall, I think of like YouTuber documentaries.
Oh no. Okay. You know what? That I could see that. Yeah, you are not wrong.
Waiting for like the 2 hour the rise and fall of I'm Alex documentary, and I will watch every second. I don't like that guy. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
By the time
I
we're
really,
recording that situation came up like a few days ago, I think.
I've been looking for a reason, man.
And yeah, you should probably describe like some thoughts on the film, Mac.
Oh, I thought you were saying thoughts on, like you should describe the situation.
No,
Um,
that's unrelated.
honestly, I didn't watch a lot of the movies that came out in 3, but this is definitely in the top. It should have been at least nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
But I get it. There were a lot of great movies that came out, but like,
Oh yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. Although you can replace literally fucking everything with Maestro, and it would have been a better year for the Oscars. That film was so fucking boring and pointless.
I need to like look as Zac Efron, other movies that he's been in to be for sure, but this has gotta be one like his best acting performance.
Zac Efron.
Yeah. Okay, I'm
I
looking
mean,
at his other movies. It's
I was gonna,
definitely his best
I was
acting
gonna say his most
performance.
famous roles are like in High School Musical and 17 again. I don't think there's that much
I'm gonna say
competition.
his most famous should be Seven. That was my brother's favorite movie whenever he was like 6.
Seventeen.
It's not a good movie. Child.
I was hoping you would say it was his favorite movie when he was 17.
I mean, it could be. Like
Anyhow,
years ago. So
this this film is definitely really engaging to watch. I felt like from the beginning, it really showed a lot of its qualities. Particularly one thing that really stood out to me, besides like the main, like before watching this film, I knew two things going into it. One, it was a tearjerker, and two, Zac Efron did a really good job. I knew that, but one thing I was surprised not that many talked about was the direction of the film. This is a really pretty
oh,
solid directed movie. The one scene that particularly comes to mind is like during the beginning of the film where they were having the first brother. Hold on, give me a second. I know should fully know who it is,
Kevin,
but like, I'm pretty
Zac
sure.
Efron brother.
Yeah, it was like the first brother getting into the wrestling, so I think it was Kevin. Um, and
He's the first one we see, but Carrie was already
No, no,
like
no.
on the way.
I'm
Like,
no David. David. It was David. They were having
oh,
David
okay.
getting into the wrestling, and they were talking to those two guys about what they were going to do during the show. And the film, it was slowly zooming out, and we were slowly revealing that we were looking like through a window and a door. And I was like, "Damn, that's like a really great way to show like
There were
what."
so many good shots.
Oh yeah, this film is fucking incredibly well lit. Like there are so much like beautiful looking scenes just on the lighting alone. Like never has like a fucking wrestling like stage looked more alive.
Never in a wrestling movie, and never in a movie that it's so like emotionally wrecking. Have I just been like, dang, wait, the camera angle's really good right here.
Yeah, this film really plays with the lighting and particularly with zooming. Like I noticed that this film really loves to play with like zooming in and out of stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking like with a later scene, I don't. I think it's pretty spoiler heavy, so I can't say it now. But I think no, it's not fully spoilery because this is before all the tragedy starts. I think it was showing that David was going to be the one going to the heavyweight championship, and the dad was talking to all of them. In the film, it was slowly zooming into like Kevin, just like showing how much like despite how he should be happy, he's a bit jealous considering this is what he worked his life for.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of other scenes that are really interesting of how they presented it. There's other ways I could say how, but that would be spoiler related. And this is a movie that it's not even a year old, so yeah.
Yeah. It is basically relevant, but like I didn't know who these guys were
Actually, I
before
did
because
read.
I'm not a WWE person, but like
I actually did read how there was one brother that wasn't in the film. Actually,
yeah. But I'm not sure if I should say why they decided to just merge him in with Mike. I think his name was Chris.
yeah, his name's Chris.
Yeah. I'm not. I'll wait till the spoiler discussion to say why they merged him with Mark,
Okay.
or Mike, because I didn't want to. The director didn't want to, but then he eventually had to change his mind. It would make something impactful, and also because of time. So
Yeah, I guess we'll save that for the spoiler discussion. Going back to the
yeah,
film, I guess to also get into one of the bigger things people talk about the film, the performances. Yeah, they were really great.
yeah.
Uh,
Like I've heard that The Bear is like a really good show, and Jeremy Allen White is like the character, but I haven't seen. But wow, he's really good in this one.
I was gonna mention him. Yeah, he was incredible. You could have probably replaced one of the actors who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor with him. Uh, Hell, I think he did it better. He did a more deserving performance than Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Although, honestly,
Yeah, well,
I feel like
I was
most
glad he really didn't do much.
that is true. Although I guess I just consider most supporting roles better than Robert Downey Jr. because I do enjoy the film Oppenheimer, but I didn't really find Robert Downey Jr.'s performance one of the highlights. But
He's a really good actor. This is just another movie where he's just cast as like a kind of smooth guy.
fair, yeah. But to go back to the performance, yeah, Jeremy Allen White, he was probably my favorite performance. I know everyone talks about Zac Efron and deservedly so, but he was the one that was really, really making me go like, wow, man, people were not joking when you said you were a really good actor. Like I knew you were cooking with the bear, which I've seen clips and he was really good in it.
Really.
I didn't even think about that. Uh, but man, you fucking did really good with that. And yeah, Zac Efron himself, I could definitely see why people said like he was snubbed of an Oscar nomination. He was great. Although,
Yeah.
again, you could have replaced like every most other like leading male performances with Bradley Cooper's performance in Maestro, and it would have been a better pick. Sorry,
Yeah. How did he get nominated for anything?
because he gets nominated for fucking everything he does and loses every time. Like I think the Academy just has some sick joke against Bradley Cooper,
If they
and I'm
wanted
all
to
for it.
nominate him for something, they should have nominated him for some kind of best acting role for Guardians of the Galaxy because of that scream. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of that scream he did.
Oh yeah, yeah. Replace his nomination for Maestro with Rocket Raccoon. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
just regular.
Yeah.
I thought they
Anyhow,
could have nominated anybody. Mara Tierney, she plays the mom for us.
oh yeah, she was great.
I think she could have got.
Best actress in a supporting role.
Best supporting actor.
She was great. There's one scene in particular I think I'm immediately thinking about, but that's a very spoilery scene, so I can't say it. It's so tough to talk about this film without spoilers. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's kind of reminds me
Both
of
the parents are pretty
great
hard
actors.
to like.
Oh,
Actually, really good job.
Oh yeah, they are really hard to like. You know what? Now this reminds me of a story. Because I was gonna say mention something. This is not like a big story. It's just kind of a thing. So my friend Tyler and I, we went to go see Priscilla in theaters. And you know how movie theaters work. You know they show a couple trailers for films coming out before they show the actual movie. I remember this was during the time where Drive Away Dolls was in like every trailer, every one of these. Then you did not go to the theaters that much. Anyhow, but
the last time I went to the theater was for Across the Spider-Verse.
That's a bit ago, yeah. But anyhow, yeah, the Iron Claw was one of the things showing, and I am not kidding you. My friend Tyler, he got up, he sat up, crisscross applesauce. He was invested in the trailer, and that's just something that's always like I've always thought about. Like, man, he was fucking invested.
That's fair.
The trailer is great. It does start off great. Because it just starts with Zac Efron going back and forth on the rings of the wrestling stage.
I will say something about the advertisement.
Good.
As soon as it was released to the digital,
yep,
or the streaming, I got this ad. Let's see, where's the streaming?
HBO Max.
This HBO Max ad, and it just showed that clip, like a clip from like the very end of the movie.
Oh.
And I was like, what the heck?
That is really weird.
It's spoiler free. He's in the yard with his kids. Kevin's kids. That'll tell you if you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen the movie, then you'll know what it is once we
or if
talk
you've
about.
Seen, yeah.
Yeah, that is weird though.
I
they
was
probably.
Like, yeah, it's on streaming. But I was like, what the heck?
Bruh. Yeah, it is a really weird choice. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of like if you were to show the with Lord of the Rings and Return of the King, if you decided to have the trailer have the ending of it, or just like any film that's like been like looking forward to, like being like, oh, here's the ending by the way, as one of the
It's like when
promotions.
you watch you get an ad for a horror movie, and they show like 2 or 3 kills in the ad, and you're like, what?
Yeah,
At
that
least
is.
if it's a slasher, you know that they're gonna die unless they're the character, but character dies before you watch the movie.
Yeah. Also, like trailers in general, they can be pretty bad with that stuff.
Yeah.
But this,
Bring back those like 2000s or trailer where it's just like footage of people on the test screen and just jumping. It's just scary. And like throwing their popcorn because they get jump scared.
yeah, that
Oh,
was like what they
so
did for
good.
Paranormal Activity,
Yeah, and they're like, this is the scariest movie of all time.
and it's like the most boring shit you've ever watched.
And it's paranormal. It's really boring.
Paranormal Activity 4, the most uninteresting
That movie's
movie
not even
ever.
fun to watch like as a bit to be funny with your
Because we tried to do that and we all were bored.
The most tense part of the movie is when that knife goes up. You have to wait for it to come in,
and it leads to nothing. Literally leads to nothing.
I think it come down like no one was.
To go back to the Iron Claw,
Yeah.
to go back to the movie we're actually talking about. I'm trying to like. Good.
Even though I had already seen that scene, towards at the end, it still hit just as hard to watch them.
That's what I mean. Like that's what I told you. Like it's gonna hit harder once you watched it.
It's like
one thing I will.
Watched Coco.
Yeah.
I think that's like second best movie. And then every time I've watched it since that, or both times I've watched it since that, I've cried.
It happens. It's just one of those things, I guess. I did like there were some scenes that I really enjoyed the writing overall. I think overall the film does really portray these real life people in a really great way, or at least in a way that feels realistic. I'm thinking about like the scene pretty early on where they sneak Mike out to play in the concert. Like
I love that part. That was so.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I also really love just I kind of love the whole chemistry between Kevin and pretty sure her name's Pam.
Oh yeah, they're
like their first interaction.
She just immediately just loves the family.
Yeah. And there's just so many scenes where like they really are like great with how they write scenes overall. It's great, and I really. It's like different levels too because it manages for the first like hour. It has some really fun scenes in it, like how again I'm thinking of like a very small scene where like Mike is just like, hey, you guys want to get burgers? And like at first they're like, nah, and then like they're all like, oh, I'll eat a burger with you, and they all get burgers. Despite like
classic burger moment.
Classic burger moment in my movie. I love it. You know what? We should probably get into spoilers because we're kind of just like talking about small things now.
Yeah.
All right. To anyone watching, we are going to spoil the shit out of the Iron Claw now. If you have not seen this movie, which could be a good chance because again, this movie is not even a year old. Skip this timeline right now to skip spoilers for the Iron Claw. Besides that, 3, 2, 1, boom! Spoilers for the Iron Claw now.
Spoilers. Oh, I saw a Reddit post about the movie. Honestly, the rest of that bad. It depends on where you go.
Where were you gonna go with this?
I was gonna say that I saw this post about someone watching theaters and someone like a lot of people left before or like during the wedding scene. So to those people,
That
it was
is
a happy
true.
movie.
It's like the fact there's a couple scenes that are kind of tragic, like when like the scene where it shows like both David and what the fuck was the one guy's name? Hold on, David and Carrie injecting like drugs into their arms.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
to
that
them.
happened before the wedding. Yeah. I wonder at what point did they leave during the wedding scene, because there is that whole scene where like Kevin catches David vomiting in the
Like the
toilet.
dancing scene, it's really fun.
That's fair. I'm proud to be a country boy.
Dude, I was kind of vibing, but I'm South. I've heard that song plenty of times. It's like,
Nice.
let's go.
Let's go. You now have a new idea for a wedding song. uh,
No.
anyhow, to get started into it, man, this film is so sad. Like it is such a down. Like like the film, no one really over exaggerates. This is a film that really shows the dark sides of the family and what led to like pretty much everyone but Kevin dying.
Which is how it goes in life. Other spoilers, I will say. Um, the reason besides like the time, like the time constraints, like stuff of the movie, another reason that they decided to cut out the other brother, because originally the director really wanted to have. The
Yeah.
reason, like, another reason that they cut him is that he shot himself, so it would take away impact from the scene where Carrie should
That feels a
have
bit
it, like, because
weird.
he dies after Mike Carrie, so it's like two in a row is less impact.
But honestly, I don't
This is
fully
not a
agree
surprise.
with that though, because like with
Yeah,
Carrie's death,
but
it has
I
that
get
impact
it,
with him
but
shooting
I don't
himself with
agree.
the gun that he gave his dad. I still feel like there's that impact. Like I don't know. It kind of feels like it feels weird to like say like, oh, two real life people dying the same way. That's not impactful. Like I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it really wasn't what the director wanted to do.
I guess different
Because
minds think, because like I don't agree with that whatsoever. I still think there's
yeah,
like impact with plus like Carrie's death has the fucking like heaven sequence that follows it. Like I still feel like there's impact between Carrie's death because it shows that. But all the deaths in this film have a huge impact, honestly, because like David's was extremely unexpected. Carrie's was just like really tragic, and Mike's was just like, man, they didn't even like show much, but it still was like, holy shit.
well, what they showed was like wow, and um, there were some devastating things. Um, I was gonna say foreshadowing, some foreshadowing, like devastating things. Like there were things at the beginning that were perfect, like fun. Where if you look back, like if you look back at them after you watch the movie, you're like, wow, okay.
Like, what are you
But at
talking
the
about
beginning,
in particular?
there's a scene where they're all eating breakfast, and Mike is like a whole plate loaded down. He's showing down, and Kevin tries to like take something from it, and he's like, no. He's like scarfing it down, and every time he's like a big eater, and he's like gonna be a good wrestler. And then after his whole shock syndrome thing, he's like,
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
really able to get and like requires help and like get it. Yeah, he can barely
I
get
really love to get into like some spoiler stuff to include with the thing I really like. The more I'm thinking about it, I really like the editing with this film.
oh
Because I'm thinking about like Mike's death now and like how it was edited, and I really loved how it went.
it was like almost peaceful.
Weirdly peaceful, despite the fact it was
Yeah.
like really. And to get into like immediately afterwards, that scene where the mom's just like, I can't put on the dress. I think was that the scene you
Yeah.
were like referring to with that actress being eligible.
Uh That was one of them, but I don't know. There's a lot of parts that were like really good. You know, I like the part where Mike is like breaking down. He's like, "I'll never be like David. I'll never be like him and all that." And she's like, "God loves you, and you're good the way you are." I don't know. She's like a really complex character. I thought.
Um, what was your thoughts on the scene where Kevin performs the Iron Claw?
I thought that scene was crazy.
It was fucking yeah, it was insane.
He was completely valid though.
Yeah, like what led up to
Is
it,
it Ric
and
Flair?
dude, Ric Flair wasn't even mad about him doing that.
He was like, "Yeah, just."
He was like, "Want to get a drink or something?" That was fucking awesome.
You made my head bleed.
that, yeah, like honestly, if a man was that chill about me doing that to somebody, I do not want a rematch anytime soon. He is gonna fucking murder me.
He's like really insane.
Yeah, like you can be number one, man. Like I am not going anywhere near you.
To be fair, if Zac Efron that shape just crabs you by the head, I'd be glad that he.
Yeah, he'd probably crush it like a watermelon, honestly.
I don't know how easily you just crush a watermelon.
Hey, he could probably find a way. Look at his fucking like strength. Like holy shit.
He's so wide.
Yeah. Let's get into
the music was really good.
I did. No, it's fine. I didn't fully remember the music that much, but it was solid from what I can remember.
Have the Reaper.
Yeah, I mean, I think more about the adapted songs rather than the original score. How about we get into the big spoiler thing? The last 10 minutes.
Oh, also.
Yeah.
I don't know. There were a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, I remember what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
We were talking about the scene where Mike dies. There wasn't much to it, but like I thought it was also really nice because it was like he walks off, and then they show like the search party the next day, and it's not very loud. It's really quiet scene. But it's really impactful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like really sick. It was like really.
I don't feel like I fully remember what happened in that scene, to be honest. Maybe I just like have the mind.
Well, it was just like a shot of like field by the house and like a big search party, and then someone like starts like pointing, there he is, or something. Oh, sure. And that's the whole scene.
Okay, I didn't remember there was an extra shot. But yeah, the last 10 minutes, wow.
All I gotta say, that's not all I gotta say. All I was gonna say, Evan should have kept cheering.
Just murder his dad.
He should have. I would
have. I would have. I would have killed my dad. I'm gonna kill my dad right now.
Not mine.
Alright.
But if he was Fritz von Eric, he was worse in real life.
Yeah, I really liked the last 10 minutes of this film. I feel like it was the perfect way to wrap it up. Like the whole like heaven scene and the I used to be a brother scene. Man, really great stuff.
The I used to be a brother scene. It's the one that they just put right on display to tell you the stream. I was like, okay.
Yeah, like the emotional point, like the emotional finale of the film about Kevin crying because he realizes that he pretty much has his family and not much else.
At least it wasn't the scene of like Evan carries a dead body.
I-
He picks up his
Fair,
bread.
yeah. Yeah, the whole fake heaven scene is probably my favorite scene in the movie, though. I love it.
Fake heaven?
And,
I
well,
guess because it's just like on the farm. Oh, yeah, 'cause
yeah,
on the farm.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you could call it like their version of heaven. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen heaven, so I don't know what it's like. I probably won't go there. God's sending my ass to hell. Anyhow, yeah, the heaven scene was my favorite moment
It
of the
was
film.
really good.
Dude, the fucking like scene where they reveal like the oldest brother, like I'm like, oh no.
Okay, so like viewers at home, as soon as the gunshot, I was crying from that point to the. I couldn't
Yeah.
even.
the movie. I couldn't read the like part at the end where it says that tells what happens again.
Damn. Valid, but damn.
Probably like mentioned something the other day, and I was like, wait, is it the end?
Yeah. It did get close
But-
for me. I did nearly cry, but like I'm personally somebody who like it takes like a really fucking like punch in the gut film to really get me crying. And while this was a punch in the gut film, it didn't fully get that to me. You know, I don't know how to fully describe it. It's
This is
hard.
like a WWE match.
It's a good movie, but yeah, it's like a
Which would
Punch in
fucking
the gut.
hurt.
it's like a
Like steel chair.
to look at.
But yeah, that haven't seen. I dried it up. So, you know, like
Yeah, there goes tears again.
I guess yeah, they showed the oldest brother. And he
Yep.
picked him up and knocked him out. Like
Bruh. You know, I feel like I do remember
They
some
didn't have to do it.
criticisms I had with the film, but I don't fully remember it right now. I don't. I mean, I feel like I
mean,
do
so-
know. What?
to them surrounded.
That's not true.
I think that they should have showed the dad.
The dead as bad as he was.
Yeah, there is. I guess that's one thing that I'm now feeling like. I feel like I know like biopics are not always like fully telling the truth and all that stuff. You know, they have to like cut things for films,
Yeah.
but it does feel like the things they do cut are a bit like why. And like I get it, like the director had different like ways he wanted to tell the story, but it feels like the stuff he cut it's like I mean, it kind of feels like you need to include that shit, you know, if you're talking about the whole family. Jesus Christ, Mike.
Also, Mike.
Or stints.
For some reason, he kind of looks like young Sheldon.
Shut
Man.
up!
Something.
No!
Sorry,
God damn it, I can't look at him now without thinking Bazinga!
I just noticed it and I was like, man.
He just. He like starts screaming and he just goes like Bazinga.
Yeah, young Sheldon and regular Sheldon, so this one's like a medium Sheldon.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite.
I guess like maybe one criticism I think I remember having again. I feel like I should know, but I'm just kind of having a brain fart right now. I feel like the film like starts off good but not amazing, and I feel like before the tragic stuff, like all that stuff, it's still good, but it's nothing like amazing per se.
That's fair.
Like it starts getting like showing off. Like there's still things about it that I really like, but I think the film really starts showing its fantastic elements during the tragic stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, world building is
Yeah. Like the world building's pretty good. You know, all the I did really enjoy all the like I love my
That's
family, I love my brothers type deal.
Sorry, I was finishing my water.
'Cause that was.
I was just listening to you talk and chugging that shit away. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. I guess maybe we should mention probably one big element. What are your thoughts on the wrestling scenes?
You know, at first I thought I was like, oh man, this could be so much wrestling. I'm not really
looking forward to that. But actually, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, the rest of the scenes are great. Dude,
Yeah.
they are fucking brutal too. Like, holy shit. Like, damn, I can see why some people watch
That's
this
how
shit
it
now.
was like regular wrestling because it's still scripted but less
Obviously, yeah.
realism.
Yeah.
That did.
And I feel like that's when like what some of the elements where Zac Efron's performance works the best for me. Like when he gets thrown to the concrete floor and he's trying his best to get up. That was one of my favorite like film like scenes performance wise from him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. One oh shit, there's one scene I forgot to mention. Um it's not really a spoiler scene, but they were talking about how the film looks and how like great the lighting is. One scene that really met like fucking was like holy shit, the lighting is fantastic. Is like the scene where Kevin and Pam have sex in the car and it turns into a
Yeah,
silhouette
it's
shot.
like,
I'm
wow,
like
that
holy
is so
shit.
beautiful.
Beautiful sex. Uh, anyhow, one thing I gotta mention too. Like, are you starting to notice this thing where it feels like most films nowadays have like sequences
Oh
that are
yeah.
like in black and white, and the rest of
Like
it's
at
in
the beginning
color?
of the movie, I forget about that. I kind of threw me off the beginning. Like
Yeah, like I'm noticing that a
threw me off
lot.
so much that I completely forget it was in black and white.
Like that trend, there's some weird trend now where like a lot of films they have like certain sequences in black and white, and it's not like there's not a narrative reason. It just feels like a lot of films are doing that now.
Yeah. Did they do it in Elvis?
They did it in
They
Poor Things. I know they.
did Elvis. Oh, never mind. The flashback
Uh,
scenes weren't.
no.
Okay, I
It
was
was
thinking
weird.
that they were.
It was a flashback scene.
It's like more flash. Then like
Dude, I don't
Did
remember
you do
anything in black and
weird
white in
flash? It
Elvis.
wasn't.
But honestly, I was getting numb by
I
the
just get a little.
hour
Oh,
and
no, it
30-minute
wasn't
mark.
weird.
Yeah. Do we want to get into final thoughts of the film?
Sure.
All right, we are done with the spoilers for the Iron Claw. Overall, this film is pretty great. This is definitely one of the films of 2023 that got pretty snubbed of Oscars. I could say that now that I have watched it. Great performances, great direction, pretty solid screenplay, even if it feels like it's missing some big stuff in it, and really tragic. Overall, pretty great. I would definitely recommend this film. What would you say, Mac?
I'd say like yeah, the lighting, the cinematography, it's all like really good. The story, everything.
Over,
Um, probably won't watch it again because yeah, it's really sad. But
I get that.
it was so good.
Yeah, I get that.
I think I would just cry.
But you've watched Coco a few times.
Oh yeah, but there's like part where I kind of feel like I'm.
Who knows? It might be different on a rewatch.
Oh, I'd maybe a little less.
Only one way to find out. Anyhow, I would give this film a high 8 out of 10. Really great stuff.
I would give it. Ooh. 5.
Yeah, the 10 out of 10 from Mag. Is that the first 10 out of 10 from you, actually? I think that might be the first 10 out of 10.
On the podcast.
Well, obviously not with other films.
See my letterbox.
That you haven't updated in like 6 months. 6 months? Shit. No, 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 no. Sorry. Yeah, first 10 out of 10 from Mac, podcast wise. It's good, cool. Let's now that we're done with the the movies, why don't we get into the Q&A and then get into the film recommendations and the ending? Yeah.
Question. I don't know. I said Yeah, that actually sounds cool.
Okay. I kind of thought of one while context, guys, because we did a clap sync in order to not make fuck up the audio. Mac's mom asked her to get ice cream in the middle of the recording, so I was waiting for like 20 minutes for her to get back. During so I somewhat thought of a question. Um, what is a film scene that's meant to be serious, but it's so dumb that you just find it unintentionally hilarious?
And where do I start? So, nothing in the Iron Claw or the Galactic
Well, yeah.
ship. Although that Titanic bit was almost like so off-putting, it was funny. Like almost.
I get that,
Oh
yeah.
shoot! All I can think about is that guy is crying in his car. It's like my heart.
I loved her.
Ah. That's
That is pretty goofy. I will not lie.
it had to be something put in a movie.
I'm looking through the films I've watched, see if I can get anything.
Oh, I had an
Yeah.
answer. It just hit me like a
Go ahead.
it hit me like a spider web, and I was a bug. Spoiler alert for the Amazing Spider-Man.
I mean, I feel like I know what you're talking about, but we'll put a spoiler for Amazing Spider-Man 2.
skip it. That scene where Gwen is fallen, and Spider-Man has to save her, and he just shoots his web at her and grabs her and breaks her neck, and it's crazy.
Funny, dude. Fucking, I'm remembering the video somebody took where like she falls and it plays like the fart sound effect, and Spider-Man falls and it plays another fart sound effect.
Dude, I kind of feel bad because it was on and my brother was watching it, and he loves the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. It's his favorite, and
I know somebody of mine who considers that their favorite Spider-Man film.
he's just a big Spider-Man fan in general. It's just like a serious moment, and he's really interested. Yeah, I did laugh really loud.
Meanwhile, you're just trying your hard to not laugh your ass off.
No, I did laugh really loud, and I was like, that's crazy. Like,
Alright, so I have my answer.
I didn't like vibe.
I mean, it's whatever.
Or kill the vibe for him.
So, I have mine. So there's this 1980s horror film called Death Ship. This was a film prior to the remake Ghost Ship, which some people might have heard of.
There's a song called Ghost Ship by Blur.
Nice. So basically, the film is about like these people. They're like on a crew, like on a boat, and like it gets attacked. So like a group of like survivors who survive the sinking go up on the ship, but it's the death ship, so they slowly get killed one by one. And there's one scene near the beginning. It's not really spoiler because like it's kind of, well, maybe, I don't know. So basically, one of the guys who survives is like this joke kind of character, like, hey, what's going on here, you know? So basically, the death ship takes a jokester guy, you know, because it's haunted, and it's like from a chain. He like drags him around and stuff, and he's like in the air and throws him off, and he basically dies by drowning. And the characters react, and by that I mean like one like lady character like looks away and like horror, like the typical like how they do in the movies. And it's never acknowledged again, and they just keep exploring the ship after he dies. Like, that's meant to be, like, the beginning, like, oh, shit, this place haunted. But nobody cared. Nobody cared about him dying whatsoever. It's never acknowledged again. Nobody brings him up whatsoever throughout the film. So I guess that's my answer. There's probably other answers, but like, oh, I guess I could also mention another film I mentioned before. So you know the film I mentioned once, I Am Sam.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in that film where like Sean Penn and his daughter Dakota Fanning are like at a diner, and basically Sean Penn starts having a meltdown about like pancakes or something. It's so funny. It's like the fact it's meant to be like dramatic, and it's so funny because he's just like the customer's always right, and he's like talking like that because you know the character's meant to be mentally handicapped, and like it's funny because like Sean Penn's not mentally handicapped, so
Yeah, I feel like they could have got a great actor that actually was like instead of like Sean Penn. Oh, it has a 36 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not good. It's basically what you think a Hollywood movie about a man with a disability would be like.
Oh, but IMDb has a 7.6 out of 10.
Don't believe them.
IMDb's usually a weird.
Yeah.
Metacritic's 28. That's like.
Yeah. So that's my two answers there. Do we want to get to the next film picks?
I didn't ask a question. I didn't ask my question.
Oh, right. Honestly, that took so long that I kind of forgot you didn't ask the question. I'm sorry.
That's alright. So like, what was? That's kind of a boring. But like, what was the first movie you cried at?
The first film I cried at. Ooh, that's tough.
It's very on theme for.
That's fair, yeah.
This episode.
Honestly, I don't know because I don't remember what I cried at during a kid. It was probably something. It was probably some stuff.
Probably like The Land Before Time or something. That thing's sad.
Probably. I remember like once I was starting like I had like this like thing in middle school where I was starting to like watch a bunch of movies, but I was doing it in the worst way possible. So like I kind of took a break from films, and then I went back to who I am now. Anyhow, during that middle school like part, I remember I first watched Grave of the Fireflies, and I remember that was the first film to make me cry more than once. Like I think I cried 3 times in that film, and it was like all like different like timings too. And
I still gotta watch that.
Oh, dude, you are gonna
cry during it. Like,
dude, when I rewatched it, I still fucking cried. It wasn't more than once, but I still cried.
This is not a good sign.
Yeah. Let's just say, an old record song is what kicks the motion. At least for me. There's definitely scenes prior to that you'll probably cry in, but for me, that's when it fucking hit, like that old record song. God. Anyone who's seen the movie knows what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry. Whenever you said old record song, I just heard thinking of that song. It's like, girl, your records.
Don't. No.
It's called Heritage.
You know, I was a pretty sensitive kid, so there's probably like something I watched prior that made me cry, but at least from what I can remember, that's what I can think of, yeah. What would you say?
Let's see. I gotta think back because I wasn't really a big crier until the last few years, but there's like 2 it can be. My Girl, Here Wrong. Okay. And yeah, but other than that, Endgame, Avengers Endgame.
It's a weird time gap. My Girl and then Avengers Endgame. That's interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Now we're down to questions.
Not Endgame. But
I still haven't seen it.
I watched that, and I had to watch.
That nightmare rotation.
Dude, imagine watching Grave of the Fireflies, My Girl, The Iron Claw, what else? Oh, shoot, Silent Voice.
A Silent Voice, yeah.
Back to back to
Dancer in the
back.
Dark, Come and See. Just
Empty.
those films are
Three.
devastating.
I
Yeah.
don't know, Marley and Me?
We're just naming movies now that people have cried at. I haven't even seen Marley and Me. I just know that it.
Like, really,
Yeah. Do we
they
want?
did a movie version of Racing Train and
Hmm.
dog.
Do we want to get into
Yeah.
the next film picks and then the? All right. All right. We are done with the Q&A. Yeah, we're at 2 hours, man.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, of course. So, do you have your next film pick in mind? Jesus Christ, this kid is so goddamn loud. It's 11, guys. For context, it's 11 p.m. for my time that we're recording it, and this kid is screeching as if he's getting stabbed 15 times in the chest.
Like, is a ghost throwing him against the walls?
It's just fucking ragdoll throwing him.
He's got the G-Pod grab.
But to go back what I was saying, like,
Your
did
other
you have
brother has that.
did you have your next pick in mind?
Yes.
How about you go
It's
first?
between... Okay. Okay, so do you think I should save a movie for our Halloween? No, because I have such a big list for Halloween. I'll just do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do you really want to wait until like
I was gonna say,
October?
should I save this for Halloween or should I do it now and then pick one of my other podcast picks that's actually listed on my podcast picks thing in my notes? No, I'll do that. Misery by Stephen King. It's not really a scary
Okay,
anyway, so.
nice.
But
I haven't
honestly,
seen Misery.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I wasn't really into horror movies when I've seen it, but I think it could be one of the best Stephen King adaptations.
All right. I just haven't seen Misery yet, so that'll be cool to watch. I know Kathy Bates won a Best Actress award for that film, or Kathy Bates, not Kathy.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Dude, she's crazy.
I know. I've seen clips.
Meat Canyon has a shirt, a Misery shirt, with like just like a screen cap of like one of the scenes. That's how a lot of those like old horror movie shirts are, and that shirt goes so hard. But if you saw the shirt, you'd be really confused if you hadn't seen it. So I'll wait until after the episode to
All right.
find a picture of that shirt.
So my pick is a film I've already seen. I've actually seen it a couple times. I've talked about it before, and not on this podcast, but just prior, like other conversations we've had with Robbie and Jeremy. And I figured, hey, why not? You know, this kind of just brought into my mind. I'm gonna recommend the film Memento, Christopher Nolan, released in the year 2000. My favorite Christopher Nolan film, despite the fact I've only seen like 3 films from him. I figured.
Well, I didn't like one of them, so this has got to be better than that.
Memento's amazing. I love that film to death.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah.
Probably top of that.
So yeah, why not go with Memento? Yeah, recommend a film I've seen, but I really love to death, and I'll be rewatching it probably for the 4th time, which is not an issue. All right,
When a movie's like really good, it doesn't matter how many.
That is true.
And this is the Iron Claw.
Or just any sad movie. So yeah, weirdly enough, we picked 2 films that are really close to each other, like alphabetically wise.
Oh, yeah.
Mine is just slightly above yours.
You beat me.
All right, we have officially gotten everything talked about, so why don't we end the podcast? Thank you to everybody who has watched the episode, listened to us talk about space cats and tragic families. This was a pretty fun time.
Really.
What?
So they're one and the same, really. They look like tragic.
Fair, yeah. Um, yeah. This was fun. This and I fucking got disorganized immediately as soon as I started talking. Uh,
That's so.
you have anything you'd like to say, Mac?
Uh, no, I don't guess so.
All right.
Oh, I got Robbie to watch both. That's really what happened. I'll try.
You gotta
Or
at least get him.
next week.
You at least gotta get him to watch Memento. You gotta at least get him to watch Memento. Anyhow, thank you to everybody who watched the episode, and we'll see you in a month from now. Bye bye, motherfucker.
Bye.